Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. And straight at the bat, I have one question for you all, which is who got you into XRP? Right? Just a fun little question. Was it your friends, your family? Let me know in the comment section down below or the chat box. And once more, welcome everybody to the live stream. Very, very thankful for having you guys all stop by saying hi. Not sure once more why the stream is not doing as amazing as usual, but I just enjoy you guys being here. I guess I should say I'm glad that at least 10 people showed up because that's what it says for me. So let's get started. All right. There is this quote unquote legendary trader, which many people in the community are talking about right now. XRP forming potentially constructive long-term pattern. Savvy trader Peter Brandt. Legendary trader has posted a potentially constructive long-term chart for XRP. And a little bit specifically, we can actually check it out. All right, so he over on Twitter said, "I sincerely apologize for any disrespect shown to those who climbed aboard the altcoin train early and have the gains to show for it. Congrats on a job really well done. You exemplified the best of a new generation of market speculators. I'm a dinosaur in a new game." And I personally think that that's because this man has, generally speaking, been quite negative towards crypto, specifically XRP and all the quote-unquote shit coins or altcoins. However, Russell, or Sydney Kidd, asked him, "It's not too late to jump on your favorite altcoin, XRP, with 1% trading capital and enjoy the ride." Just kind of as a fun little joke, right? Well, Peter Brandt actually replied quite good, I would say. I mean, looking at his tweet specifically, he said, "This is potentially a constructive long-term chart." And, well, he's literally quoted almost everywhere, if you look on the internet, as a legendary trader. So from that perspective, I think it's quite an honor to, I guess, get this treatment, right? So basically, he's pointing out to a inverse head and shoulder pattern as far as I can see, with our first shoulder being here, the neckline being shown, a head and another shoulder coming kind of to the same point. Again, kind of looking a little bit like this. Now, for all of you that do not know, I also tried to quickly put up a little example here of how a inverse head and shoulder should look like. And generally speaking, once when we got the neckline right there, two shoulders and a head in the middle, notice how the volume increases once the price breaks above the resistance. I don't know if we actually got that in there. No. We actually didn't get a huge break in that regard. I guess you might be able to see this as the huge volume increase of the breakout, I guess. But generally speaking, he said that we could basically be building on this neckline for the XRP price to then, again, see the future in a bullish sense, right? Because we just saw the same breakout. It is a classical pattern. And then again, the only problem is that we did see a breakout prior and came right below it before building back up. So it's a little bit of a 50-50 since, well, I mean, it's not that constructive than if we already breached it once, right? Then again, I guess it kind of comes along with my own personal expectation, which is that we're going to start building higher highs and higher lows from here on forward. And if you kind of look back, this is a weekly perspective. If you look at the head basically here, because this is a long time ago, right? If you look at the way that it's going, it's still, theoretically speaking, going exponential. And as long as we don't make a very, very low or crazy movement from here forward, and we basically go up over the next, let's say, 3 or so weeks, the pattern is actually still extremely bullish if you look at it from a macro perspective, a weekly perspective. All right. So the article, once more, kind of states the exact same thing, right? That he's kind of turned bullish. Previously, he's had some very mixed feelings about XRP. He has actually demonstrated disdain multiple times for the Ripple affiliated crypto and urged the SEC to proclaim it a security long before the regulatory agency initiated the lawsuit against Ripple over the same issue in late December of 2020. This year, however, the veteran commodity trader has several times posted bullish tweets on XRP, which I found pretty funny, right? It's pretty interesting. All right, so on that same note, the XRP network activity has also been soaring as top trader turns bullish. This top trader, you guys already know, right? It's the same exact individual. And what I was kind of amazed about is that he's, oh, wait, never mind. I was like, is he 40? Because that's what it said. But it says he's a 40-year trading veteran. I was already thinking he looks very old for a 40-year-old. But I guess for a 40-year trading person, I guess we're we're looking quite fine from that perspective. Now, XRP is definitely, whatever way you look at it from, doing extremely well right now. People often focus too much on the short-term prices. They don't look at the longer term, as we can kind of see it in here, but also not at the activity that's actually going on. So when considering the rising number of active addresses on the XP network, the bullish thesis holds. Roughly 6,700 addresses are interacting with the network, representing a 394% jump from last week. A spike in the number of active wallets tends to be followed by rising prices. Still, it is imperative to wait for a sustained candlestick close outside the $1.72 to $1 price range to determine where XRP is heading next. Slicing through resistance might push the token to new all-time highs, while losing the underlying support barrier could result in a correction to 85 or even 70 cents. Guys, in the chat box right now, if you're watching, let me know how many, when did you start hodling? I'm seeing Baba say it's been 4 years for me. He's losing hope. Really? I've been holding for at least 4 years and I'm not losing any hope. What has made you lose hope? Just because it takes long? Patience is key. Patience is, or it can be at least, very difficult, but ultimately that's what separates us from a lot of other people. Those who are willing to wait the time usually get the gains, if you guys get the picture. Now, there's also an article here which is called XRP Price Awaits a 26% Upswing, but Stiff Hurdles May Blindside Ripple Bulls. I personally find that these types of articles are a little bit skewed towards the attention grabby side. Is there really a 26% climb coming for XRP because of something that they can see for the future? No. If I were to give my own personal answer, I don't think that these guys can predict a 26% climb like that. It's just not something which I really believe in. Then again, I do like the enthusiasm, and it's something which some people do believe in, some people don't. I have my own trading style, and these guys have their own. But if you like it, make sure you check these articles out because they have a ton of them over on their own website on the FX street. So I guess everybody get their own thing. But let me continue on. I digress. There's so much stuff I want to quickly give a little notice of because we've been doing a couple of streams today, but a lot of people couldn't make it, I think, because we didn't get as many viewers as we normally get. So I want to give you guys a quick little overview of everything that we talked about today. There was a ton of stuff. So a little bit earlier in the morning, we talked about Ripple demanding non-evasive responses from the SEC. So what that was all about is basically the SEC is trying to hide a lot of critical and crucial information about why it actually sued Ripple. Ripple, in one letter, again, tried to get that info. SEC kind of had a response saying, no, we don't want to give it. And now the SEC, Ripple gave their critical reply to once more state, you have to give it over to us following the law. So that was kind of what that part was about. Now, a little bit later, which I have opened somewhere too, Ripple also filed a motion to seal, which is basically that a lot of these answers, for example, Ripple's answers, or some of the critical information from the SEC has to be hidden from the public for some reason which we can only speculate about. We do not yet know. It will most likely not find out until very, very much later. So that was one part. Another part had to do with basically why Jed McCaleb stopped selling. We still don't know exactly, but there were a couple of theories that we put up because of everything that I've been looking up. Like, for example, if you look at the original complaint, Jed McCaleb is mentioned there. So this is the complaint from December 22nd, 2020 from the SEC against Ripple. If you look through it carefully, you'll notice that Jed McCaleb is actually mentioned a couple of times in the members associated, basically. So right here, you can see co-founder is him. And if you look through the document, you'll see he's mentioned like maybe 7 or 10 times. It could be that he actually stopped selling his XRP purely for the reason of this lawsuit. Could be. What is the justification behind that or deliberation? I don't really know because we have no info on that. But it could be, right? And that's something to think about. Then again, it could also be that his agreement, which he had with Ripple, either from 2014 or the newer one from 2016, basically, has made it so that he is now done with selling and he only has XRP left for charity. Once when we kind of covered exactly what the XRP selling measures were, how much he could sell and all that, and one conclusion that we drew was maybe he's just done selling the amount of XRP that he was allowed to sell for the year, which is possible. And there's a couple of things actually, because as it currently stands, Jed McCaleb can sell, I think, 1% or 1.5%, depending on what year it actually is. I don't really know, of the total daily XRP volume. Now, it could be that he actually, by some strange miracle, overestimated the number for the entire year, and so now has to compensate by not selling for a longer time. However, looking at his blog from the web archive here and a couple of other papers and older message boards, whatever, we've actually noticed too that Jed McCaleb is actually not really bearish on Ripple. He just had different views, and that's why he found it stellar with almost the exact same technology as the XP Ledger has. It's because the technology isn't at fault, it's the vision. I think Ripple wants more central banks business to business, and Stellar is working more on the person-to-person front. By the way, guys, make sure that you press the like button on this live stream. Helps out a ton, puts a smile on my face. And let me quickly show you guys, we have about 71 likes right now, about 250 people watching, which I still consider to be amazing, guys. Everybody who's showing up right now in the chat box, you guys are all amazing, and I really, really appreciate you. John, Baba, CryptoBug, JC, Air, Sniper, Leon, Christopher, Rissam, Michael, Ellie Crafts, D. Pearson, Tai Chi Panda, all you guys are amazing. Of course, everybody that I missed too, Jason, Mr. Poole, Arthur, you guys are awesome. Just want to quickly point that out. You guys are amazing. For just stopping by and saying hi and chatting in the chat box, I appreciate it always. And 64-bit is also here. All right, man. What's up? So then we went over to talk more so about the Gasparino situation, where Charles Gasparino, who is a part of Fox Business Network, which is a part of Fox Media or Fox News Media or whatever it's called, the company. So what they basically were talking about in that sense, what we were talking about earlier, is how there's definitely some expansion being seen right now in the Ripple versus SEC case. Hopefully, you guys are kind of noticing that too. But what's kind of, in my own opinion, happening is that, well, we're getting more and more wind of some of these bigger institutions looking into kind of asking questions about what the SEC has been doing. And this whole Fox ordeal was definitely a good kind of kickstarter for all of that. Ryan says Fox is some not so good news. Debatable. It's, however, about the fact that once it gets on Fox, for example, or some of these mainstream media outlets, that others are going to start asking questions, and ultimately that's all we need. We need people to start asking questions about the SEC. That's all we need, and this is a very, very good start for it if you were to ask me. We had as well that Ripple just posted they're finding some huge expansion. In 2 years, the on-demand work industry will be a $455 billion market, but today, getting paid is still a challenge for freelancers because of legacy payment systems. By partnering with Paydeck, which again I kind of left here for a separate video, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get to it. Paydeck is basically just, as you can see here, expanding footprint to Latin America and Africa through RippleNet. Just kind of one of these companies who's going to help Ripple just branch out. I guess that's the best way I can kind of put it for Latin America and Africa. Then we talked about Gary Gensler, aka Daddy, going trending. We talked about Adira Ashcraft. It's really, really big expansion, really, really big plans. I was kind of excited about that. Let me see what else we got here on another tab. Okay, so a couple of pieces of information that were also interesting from today. First of all, XRP is range bound. We all saw it. I, however, put up a couple of trading ideas for the public to see. If you're wondering, guys, where I'm trading on, it is called Bybit. That's the exchange I'm using. And pretty shortly here, I think I'm going to be able to get you guys about 100,000 XRP worth of giveaways. So just quickly letting you guys know, Bybit is the exchange that I use, and there's a lot of stuff that you can get over on there. People ask me, do you not sleep? If you noticed, there's been like a 6-hour gap or whatever between my previous live stream, I think, or how much has it been? And also, it's 3 a.m., but I'm going to sleep after this one, if you're wondering. So, it's all good. However, the Bybit thing, that's the exchange that I use, if you're wondering. And if you want my trading ideas, what I'm going to be doing, check out the previous video. It's in there, right? It's in some of those. I even put the title there, where I'm buying XRP. However, again, if we were to kind of follow along with Peter Brandt, everything right now is still a good buy because we've just broken out for the head and shoulders pattern, and he's calling it out as a longer-term constructive base. Pretty bullish on XRP. And again, if you're looking from a weekly perspective, XRP always looks amazing. And it really looks as if March of 2020 was basically the start of it all. It's just going to kind of keep trending higher and higher and higher as time moves on, because that's exactly the way it's looking if you look at it from a weekly perspective. All right, so the direction basically for XRP is good. That's what it kind of says. Now, we also noticed today that Binance is looking to basically settle down a little bit. As it currently stands, Binance is kind of all over the place. So they basically have an exchange running, but the structure of governance from the company themselves is decentralized. So they're basically all over. They want to kind of change that to become more regulatory compliant. The problem is it's going to be a lot of backlash first before they get a lot better, but they have to because they're the biggest exchange, and they basically received some cease and desist letters from all over the world, so they kind of want to settle down and make sure they can kind of accept these letters and start regulating properly because, well, they're the biggest and they want to stay the biggest, so they have to make the step towards properly regulating themselves. And it's a big step. It's going to be kind of strange, kind of scary, but it's the way that it needs to happen, unfortunately, I guess, or fortunately, depending on how you view it. Then Coinbase filed to offer cryptocurrency futures and derivatives trading. This is definitely the biggest announcement of the day if you were to ask me, because if Coinbase does this, the amount of trading that crypto will see is going to at least double. I think that Coinbase can easily, very easily become the top one futures exchange for crypto in the entire world if they got this done. Problem being, I don't think they will be able to do that. But if they did, I think it could actually literally be number one. It would be kind of insane. Then again, all of this is all kind of irrelevant if XRP is not on the list, I guess. Kind of, right? Because I personally don't really use Coinbase. If they had XRP on there, I might think about it. But the fact that they don't, yeah, I mean, I'm not really a Coinbase fan because of it then. I mean, why would I use Coinbase if it doesn't have XRP? But I think, guys, and I still kind of hope that Coinbase and Ripple will just join forces right now and kind of fight this SEC thing together. A lot of the questions are central to both parties. Like, what was the deliberation between calling Ethereum a non-security? Because that will also ultimately be important for the loaning feature, or whatever lawsuit is going to be slapped at Coinbase. Because still, guys, remember, Coinbase can actually be sued by the SEC if XRP turns out to be a security. Because even though they removed it, people actually paid fees on Coinbase, and Coinbase made money off of an illegal securities offering, and people sometimes don't like that. Eventually, some lawsuits might follow, and it can actually be kind of annoying. So Coinbase kind of has to know the baseline as well about, okay, when exactly did you determine that XP was a security, and could we have known? All those things are actually important, too, for the case against Coinbase that eventually is inevitably going to come. So I kind of wonder why they don't just kind of join forces and start talking with each other, as Coinbase is and keeps on vouching for proper crypto regulations, yet when Ripple or whilst Ripple's fighting, they don't really join up. That's strange, right? If you as an individual or company are really looking out for the best interest of this entity, which is in this case is crypto, then why wouldn't you work with the smartest brains in the industry? Or from a different perspective, the most important and vital key proponents of the industry which you're trying to change or get some clarity on. I don't really understand why they would ignore Ripple, why they wouldn't work together, except for the fact that they're scared to, face the repercussions. But that's the entire thing. If Ripple loses, the repercussions are going to be so much more severe than just working together. But I think in due time here, they might actually realize that by staying out of it, they're actually hurting themselves way more than being involved. But maybe we'll see it pretty shortly here, guys. It could be that Coinbase is just going to change their minds within a couple of weeks from now. We shall see. Right? And I don't think it's going to take too long before we'll see. And that America could lose its competitiveness to harsh regulations, says Cardano's Hoskinson. Remember this as well. Remember this very well, guys. Right now is a key chance for the U.S. to step up the game and become the biggest country in crypto. They can. China would have been number one by far had they not banned it all the way. But since China has been really negative towards it, this is literally the chance for America to be number one and stay there. The same thing like they kind of did for the internet. Problem being, they don't want to for some reason. I don't understand. I literally have no idea why they wouldn't and why they would be kind of so against it, basically, or so narrow-minded, or let's call it like steady. They're not really willing to bend and try to kind of fix the rules and set them in place. No, they're staying kind of solid throughout the entire journey. And I kind of wonder why. I don't really understand exactly what the thought process is behind that. But again, I do think we'll find out pretty shortly here about these things. Literally everything we've talked about here, it's the same, right? A lot of you guys say, oh, do you make the same videos? I don't, because there's every day a lot of new news. However, the issue is still the same. We still don't have clarity. It's still unknown when exactly the price will pump. It's still unknown when exactly people will realize the value of XRP. It's still unknown when exactly the mainstream media will pick up and start going crazy on XRP and start going viral. All these things are going to remain questions until they happen, yet every single day we get a step closer to this inevitable result, which is, in my own opinion, a huge XRP pump. And if you were to ask me, it's not really that far away. That's my honest opinion. Then again, people will always try to debate this by saying, oh, no. I personally think the huge XRP gains are not that far away. And by being involved right now as we speak, we're getting kind of a better deal than a lot of other people. Everybody watching right now, let me know in the chat box where you all watch it from. We have about 280 viewers right now, which once more is actually the lowest we've done in a very, very long while. But I don't care. As I've said before, it's all good. It's all good. As long as a couple of you guys are chatting in the chat box, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm enjoying this. It's a little bit slower paced. Maybe that also has some nice stuff in that. So a couple of questions right now. The news part I've covered most. Some questions. Christopher says, I've been watching Gary's MIT videos on blockchain. He looks like a slimy turd. I don't know exactly what that means. Do you mean with a U, like a poopy? However, let's say it like this. Gary Gensler is very knowledgeable on crypto. We can try to deny it, but he knows his stuff, very much so. The problem is he has a very negative view on crypto. So even though he knows inherently how it works and he might be very good with it, he has a very nihilistic view on it, basically meaning he knows how it works, but he doesn't like it. And he just thinks that there should be regulations for it in a negative sense. We just have opposing views and we definitely disagree. Then again, he does know blockchain, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. He does know his stuff a little bit. Matt says I'm in an undisclosed location. That's completely fine, my friend. We have Toronto in the building. A lot of people are from Toronto. Philippines. We don't have that many people from Europe, but I guess it's because it's 3 a.m. for me. And it's actually, I think, one of the first times that I've streamed this late at night. Usually we don't do that. Maybe that's why the viewers are different right now, because it's not my usual time to go live. We have Australia. What is the time for you guys over in Australia right now? Any connection to Paydeck and ETN? I'm not too sure about that, guys. I don't really follow too much with ETN anymore. I used to hold a ton of it, but yeah, after the hack, which I told you guys about before, I don't really am too. I bought ETN in the ICO. My first 100 videos, about 80% were on ETN because it was my favorite crypto at the time, but I kind of let astray from that because, well, yeah, I got the exchange that I had my ETN on got hacked, which leads me to a fun story, guys. If you have your crypto on exchanges right now, I'm not going to tell you to take it off, but I am going to tell you to consider what you're doing and consider it really properly. All right? I had I don't know how much money it was anymore, guys, but I bought into a crypto ICO. I stored my money on an exchange, and the exchange disappeared. The problem is you might just think, oh, okay, but you get your money back, right? No. If an exchange disappears, usually there's a lot of people who get their money before you do. And even if you're going to get your money back, it most likely can take upwards of a couple of years, maybe 3 years before you actually get something back. And there's a lot of procedures taken in place inside that all. But usually when an exchange disappears, it's either a hack, either a insolvency issue, or it's just always a problem. So it's going to be very, very annoying to get your money back. Point being, if you think that exchanges are safe or that you should just hold everything in there because you'll be fine, I think that that's a really, really dangerous view. Guys, be very careful keeping all your money on exchanges. A lot of you guys are always saying you don't trust the bank. I see that quite often in the chat box. I trust my bank way more than I trust a crypto exchange. Because the bank, well, it's backed by the government. And even though your government might do some shady stuff, who knows? You know that your money is kind of good. You know that they're not all of a sudden going to disappear tomorrow. The chances are very small. With the crypto exchange, it could literally be that Binance just all of a sudden thinks, you know what, we're done with this. We're closing tomorrow. That's it. It's going to be a lot of lawsuits. It's going to be a lot of blah, blah, blah. But it might be years for you not seeing any of your money. It might have some dire consequences. That's why I always recommend keep it in a way that only you have access to it. Right? Buy yourself a ledger, or even just go for a software wallet like Exodus, for example, if you don't have the money to spend on a hardware wallet. But keep it safe. This is not for everybody. As I've said before, holding a hardware wallet is also a responsibility because you become your own bank. So if you know you're really, really bad with stuff, you know that you really are not good with keeping your your stuff at places, or you really are a really messy person, maybe don't do it. But for most people watching right now, I think it's a very smart idea to go look at some sort of hardware wallet or at least a software wallet. It's even better, in my opinion, to keep it in I'm going to say software wallets, maybe even phone wallets than webware. I'm going to say that as well. It might even be safer to put it in an app than onto something like, the Coinbase web application, basically, or anything like that. Notorious coming in with the $2 with the thumbs up. Thank you very much, my friend. It's been a long time since I saw you in the chat box, Notorious. It's been a very long time. Maybe you just watch, but you don't chat that much anymore? And like Matt says, if you don't own the keys, you don't own the crypto. It's the truth. It's the honest truth behind it. If you don't hold the keys, you don't officially hold the crypto. And some poor child says they just dropped Flare and Songbird. I did see a small announcement of Flare indeed, or of Songbird, over on Twitter. Let me actually go check it out a little bit, because I haven't really talked about it too much, or haven't really seen too much about it, I should say. I saw a couple of small parts, like here. You will not see your Songbird in your wallet until there's a public RPC, which I just explained over on Patreon, how RPCs work. Let's see. So, I guess this is Songbird as a kind of a start. It's just going to come up now, maybe? Not too sure about this. Songbird is live for the airdrop only right now. Okay. I guess I'll just quickly retweet that. You will not see your Songbird tokens until your wallets until there is public RPC endpoints for your wallet to connect to. Guides will be released on how to connect your wallet to an RPC in the coming days. This is just a process that you have to go through. For example, if you own MetaMask, it's just a simple process of adding. However, what I'm kind of confused about... Oh, I guess here we go. Songbird is now launched, and the Songbird token has been distributed to all addresses. Okay. You know what? I'll read through it and make another update for you guys later, because I haven't read it now, and so it's going to be a little bit messy. I can show you, though. This is the website. It basically says, Songbird is now launched, and the SGB token has been distributed to all addresses. If you have a self-custody, you most likely are not able to do it just quite yet, but I guess this is mostly for exchanges that the coins have been sent, and so they can start distributing it pretty shortly here. All right. Have any of you guys received it in your wallet just quite yet? Are flares dropped onto your hardware wallet when connected to internet? If you are having your flare in a hardware wallet, I don't think you can actually claim it just quite yet, because you can't see it yet. You can have the coins to your address, but for example, in MetaMask, you can't see it until you add the RCP, I think is the thing, right? But no, it's not on exchanges just quite yet, I think, because they need to take some time to actually pull this through. But I'm guessing tomorrow, maybe. Do you have to do anything to claim your Songbird? Guys, I know as much as you do. I just saw this. I have no freaking clue. I don't think you have to do anything, though, depending on your exchange. If your exchange tells you do something, then you do. Otherwise, you have to wait until they tell you exactly what it is. Here, for example, it says state connector testing mode. Once Songbird progresses past the observer mode, Flare will not be able to unilaterally roll back or start the network. It will basically start September 27th. Okay. Node peering where the network is achieved through whitelist. Okay. So that's kind of to start things off. Flare reserves the right to roll back and or take down the network and restart from Genesis. Exchanges, we strongly advise not making SGB tokens available for sale or purchasing during this time. Interesting. I think that's kind of normal, though, right? That they basically... Yeah. Matt says here, when you get the RPC connected, it should appear shortly. Usually how it works is you get the token. They're officially kind of attached to your address already, but it's only once you put in the code that they're going to release pretty shortly here that you can actually see it, basically. And David says, Dusty, bro, you feeling okay? You sound tired? It's two things, I guess. One, it's 3:20. No, it's three things. One, it's 3:20 a.m., so it's pretty late at night. Second of all, the stream is not doing too well in terms of the likes and viewers, which is always a little bit of a bummer. If people are really hyped up in the chat box, you get more hyped up, which is another point. Once more, I'm extremely satisfied, extremely happy that everybody's here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, of course, that hypes up more. So right now, I'm just normal chill mode. And 3, I've had a really big working day. I've been busy all day. It's been really, really busy. So I guess I'm also more tired in that sense. So thank you for your concern, my friend, David. 3 a.m., where are you at? In the Netherlands, Amsterdam is where we're at right now. However, once more, I'll just make a small little update video, I guess, later. I guess we could say let's go and be happy. Then again, I'm not really that bullish on the entire Flare ordeal. I like it because it's free money, but just going to be honest with you, I don't know if it will actually do as amazing as people have claimed it to be. So we'll strap the moon boots on to see if it's going to work, but we're not too sure about it. At least I'm not too sure about it. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting couple of days, guys. How many hours have you been on YouTube today? Not more than 3, I think. Because I think we did a couple of live streams, but in total, not more than 3 hours today. People also think that I'm just here the entire day, just sitting here, just behind my computer. Not actually, guys. I do a lot of stuff. I'm just in the same room, so whenever I see something crazy, I just open up a live stream or record a video. It's not as if I have to be in the same spot here, only watching you, or only doing YouTube the entire day. I have a lot of stuff to do in a day. Which is funny that people sometimes think that, but yeah. So, wait a minute. I accidentally took out my cord. There we go. So, German says, so what happened to XRP CEO in the Senate? I have no idea what you're talking about. Notorious with the $589 coming in saying, keep up the great work, my friend, and buckle up, the best is yet to come. I just saw you say as well that you're always here just lurking and watching a little bit. Oh, good to hear you're still doing good, Notorious. At least that you're still here, that you didn't give up on XRP just quite yet. I mean, your name would suggest that you'd never give up, but yeah. Does the ledger hold every crypto? No, but a lot of it does. You can actually check it out. But most of it that you want to hold, it can store. Matt says, the reserve feds are... let's not talk about that one. All right, guys. But I'm going to keep it cool. I covered it, whatever I wanted to cover already in the live stream. I'm going to record a little video on the Flare thing so other people can get updated. Because, well, it's live. It's there. It's cool. However, I need to kind of read a little bit more into it because I don't fully understand. The document briefly describes the path that the network will take over the coming weeks and months. I don't really... I don't think there's any process for us to go through. It's just kind of a waiting game. And once more, let's see here. Accessing your own tokens. Once more, once the RPC is launched, it's just putting it in. That's all you need to do. It's actually not difficult at all. We'll get to it. For right now, though, if you have your money in exchanges, your XRP, it's just a waiting game, but it's going to be fine. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna end this stream right here. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you quickly press that like button just to help out the channel a little bit, or help the video perform a little bit better, I should say, because now it's been a live stream and after it turns into a video. If you guys press the like button, though, it helps it perform a little bit better. Here's the stats at the end of the live stream, if you guys are all wondering. We had about 4,000 people say hi. We had about $8 worth of income. We had about 169 likes, and about 300 viewers, and maximum about, let's see, about 320. So pretty cool overall. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and see you guys again a little bit later. All right. Thank you all. Stopping by.